The Goods and Services Tax authorities have uncovered an evasion to the tune of 30,000 crore. There was a nationwide crackdown and very interesting updates coming from that crackdown. PAN cards, Aadhaar cards of beneficiaries of PM Kisan were misutilized to evade GST, and a huge volume there of to the tune of 30,000
That's the problem. I'm very glad that the tax authorities and the GST committee has gone after and unearthed this 30,000 crore rupees worth of evasion, which would add back to India's tax collection kitty and overall to the GDP. But the fundamental problem is the PM Kisan Yojana got misused. That is where the data, the PAN details, the mobile numbers, the bank accounts got used, diverted to mischievously set up GST companies, shell companies that never existed. Day after day, we are talking about a scenario where our data is getting breached, our data is getting leaked. Whether it was the COVID story yesterday, denied by the government, but I think the jury will be out there to understand and hopefully understand whether or not the data got breached. But even a question of data getting leaked on Telegram, COVID data is a problem. Every day we talk about our data, our email IDs, our phone numbers getting leaked to fraudsters, scamsters, and telecallers, all of that. And now on top of that, we are looking at a government funded scheme, PM Kisan, which was meant to be utilized by the agricultural belt of India, by the farmers out there, and direct beneficiary transfers to their accounts. Their PAN cards get leaked, and we have this case of shell companies being created evading tax. Enough of this nonsense, Enough of this nonsense. Why is our data not getting protected across the board? I think this is ample evidence available that our data is not safe. Whether it is us urban metro dwellers, whether it is the farmers out there, or the whole population with COVID. This is something that has to be tracked, attacked, and dealt with as seriously as it gets.
Okay. Karthik is annoyed, rightly so. This is about data of people who trusted government. They were hoping to be beneficiaries of PM Kisan, get money into their bank accounts. They may not have got money. Many of them still on record say they never got the money that was intended by the way of various social security schemes. But at the same time, what we do know, which is now on record, is that people and their details were leaked, including their Aadhaar details. 4,000 shell companies were set up. As many as 16,000 fake GST registrations were found in the system. And while all of this is a good story for the GST authorities because they were able to find evaders, it brings light to the large question around data safety, data protection.
Oh, every single time, as be it the COVID example or this one, scary at that. More than the PM Kisan Yojana, I was more startled by the number that 18,000 PAN and Aadhaar card details were stolen. That's something that all of us have, PAN and Aadhaar card. If PAN and Aadhaar card numbers are not safe, I don't know what we're talking about over here. These are things that we are asked to take compulsorily. These are things without which we can't operate in this world.
And I'm wondering how this data could be leaked, because this could not have been leaked from private authorities. This is the data that government has. So essentially it was leaked from one of the government portals.
I mean, that's in the realm of speculation
Exactly.
that we have to comment on, but yeah, it's likely.
I mean, come to think of it, because this was a scheme created by the government. So who had the data? Who had the account numbers?
Hackers can hack into a government website. We know that government websites are not the most well protected. The US government website has been hacked. So it's too early to apportion blame as to who did it and how did they get access to these things. Okay. The fact of the matter is that websites can be hacked.
No, but these are beneficiaries, Krishna, which is where I disagree. These are beneficiaries of PM Kisan, which essentially means it's government social security scheme.
Exactly. This data should have been encrypted. This data should have been held very closely in data centers with enough and more guardrails for it not to have leaked. But the fact of the matter is it has still leaked. And it has been misused, misappropriated to create shell companies, which in any case are harming the government and the country at large.
Right. And so in that sense, what these days at least, I've really reached a position where when a government website gets hacked or government details get hacked, I'm not surprised. Because it happens, it continues to happen. Doesn't mean that it's okay. I just think that, if you watch one of those TV series called Mr. Robot, it'll tell you the kind of, dangerous technology world. Every single time you swipe your card, every single time you make a UPI transaction, you are running a risk of your money being taken away from you. It's like taking a flight every single time or walking on the road, which is all considered with a certain amount of risks. So hence, the problem is that the moment you put data and you put it in a cloud or a server, it's going to be hacked. We saw Apple's The Apple
Absolutely.
Cloud being hacked, the coolest of brands with the most advanced of technology, their servers, their Apple Cloud getting hacked. So, is it shocking? Yes. Is PM Kisan Yojana, does it need to be tracked? Oh yes. But what I'm more worried about is the fact that Aadhaar and PAN data needs to be absolutely
One of the most
safe.
sensitive data which is
and
now
this
being
crackdown, Shweta, it began in May 16th, and now you have the ED, the IT department, and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs involved. So let's
Right.
hope for a good solution very
All
soon.
right, let's hope for a good solution. Of course, it's good news for GST authority because they were able to find evaders. Huge sum at that 30,000 crore rupees, and hopefully we'll be able to crack the whip on those who are actively evading GST.